Hello, I'm Dr. Kill, aka Dr. Drill, digging for whimsy, and with me here is...
MissileWaster, funny joke.
And today we're actually going to Stone Tower, so if people are looking forward to dungeons, well, we're finally getting to one. But first off, I have a few chores to do, and I'll start off by doing the ones here in the Curiosity Shop. Curiosity Shop is handy because you can... Well, for one thing, there's my sword, which was stolen last episode.
By the bird in Termina, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna get that back, but I'm also gonna do a couple of other things that I can do because I can sell bottled items. What I'm gonna do is sell this, but pause before he actually takes it away from me, and replace the bottled fish with the DQ nuts, and he'll update that instead of the fish with an empty bottle. So it's another way to do bottles, and I get to keep my fish.
And I've read about that trick. It's pretty precise, but you were holding R, so your shield came out. That gives you an extra frame.
More time.
Yeah.
But if I put a fish in front of there, it actually gives me a lot more time.
What?
And so what I did is I'm not getting my sword, right? Even though I just bought it.
Wait.
That's because of the fish. And then when I catch the fish, it'll finally get my sword back, but it gives the sword to the Zora.
Okay, I've never seen that before.
Yeah. This is really important because before I had a bottle on my B button as Zora, but now I have my fins back.
Okay, alright.
Right. See, I mentioned it, but basically Zora and Goron have a sword on their B button.
Yeah.
And that's how their punches work, and I just fixed that.
Now, does Link still have his... Did he not get his sword back, though?
Yeah, exactly. That's sort of the issue now. Link doesn't have a sword on his B button. He has it in his inventory. Like, if I were to pause and check, it would be there, but it's not on his B button.
And it's not like Ocarina of Time where you could just equip it.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll actually be fixing that right now. Because the easy way to fix it is to play the Song of Time. Because anytime you don't have your sword in your inventory or on your B button and you save, it puts it back. Because because it's just like a condition it has so that you don't ever just lose your sword forever.
Right.
But I did that I'm gonna do that with the Song of Time storage, but I'm gonna do something else with that too. So I'm using Song of Time storage while opening a chest. And for one thing, that put my sword back because I saved and reset essentially.
Mm-hmm.
But because I did that at the same time as opening a chest, what actually happened is I reset the chest trigger for me of opening it. So that chest will actually be back.
Oh, wow.
But I still have the money because it did not reset me getting the money since it takes a few seconds for me to get it. So I reset the chest, but not me getting the money.
Okay, yeah, I've never seen any of that. That was... Wow.
Yeah, it's a fun little thing. It lets you open up the same chest twice. Big problem is that you reset all the triggers in the game that the Song of Time would. But for now, it was good for me getting my sword back, and for the money. And now we're in here because I need to buy some milk, which is what I needed that bottle for. You can't actually buy milk and put it in a fake bottle. You need a real one for that, and that'll be for later. And I'm also here to get the circus leader's mask. The one people understand to be the most worthless mask.
Yep.
But that's really dull to watch. So I'm going to speed that up, but also do another thing in the meantime. Because I just walked into the milk bar with the Romani mask. But there's another way in, and I'm going to show it off right now. So you're never supposed to be in the bar from like 9 to 10. You just can't get in even with the mask.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't allow for it. Under normal circumstances. But of course, this is not a playthrough about normal circumstances.
Of course.
So with a couple of like certain kinds of hovers, or just like not super precise or anything, just hovers, I can hover out of bounds, right next to the loading zone to the door to the bar, and hop right in.
Wow.
And so now we're in here, and again, we're not supposed to be here from 9 to 10. It's open until 9, and then it opens again until at 10. But because of that, we can see Mario and Luigi just pop right in.
Wow.
So, just a minor thing. But it's a way into the milk bar without the Romani mask. Which you still need to buy, like, the milk.
Yeah.
But,
That's just interesting to me that even though you're not even supposed to be able to get in there, they still are triggered that way. Like, they still have a time cue.
Yeah, that's what a couple of them seem to do. I did it with the mayor's wife.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
Essentially, every NPC in this game is based on a timer, or the ones that have timed actions will be based on some kind of timer. And I guess some of them are just set to spawn at certain times, but they always put it so that you're not supposed to be in there when they do that.
Yeah. And but after getting the most useless mask, you're getting one of the most useful masks.
Oh, yeah. Funny enough, because you can glitch into the milk bar the way I did, you can actually use that mask, like, usefully, I guess. Yeah. If you were to do that before you have the Romani mask. But, you know. Generally, it's not a useful mask because, as people might know, the one thing it's useful for is the milk run, which you need to do before you get that mask anyway, so...
Right.
But yeah, here I'm getting the Great Fairies mask. I'll be using that a lot. This Great Fairy is kind of interesting because you visit it twice, right?
Yeah, once for magic, yeah.
And the way that works is that if you don't have magic, she'll give you magic no matter what. That's just how it works.
Right.
And if you have magic, she'll give you the Great Fairy mask. And you can sort of find that out basically by glitching, or by cheating.
Yeah.
So you would just like cheat your way like there as a human without magic, and she would give it to you no matter what. Now we have to take care of a few timed things. There's a couple of things that happen around midnight on the first night. One of the first things is the Karmara mask here. All you have to do is play the song Healing. However, I was a little bit early, so I have to wait a little bit. I went a little bit too fast, I guess.
Right. Which is a common problem for speedrunners.
Not too big of a deal. It ended up working out all right. And then, this mask only useful for heart pieces. A lot of masks are like that. They're only useful for a heart piece.
Yeah.
Which I'm not getting, so sorry if anyone wanted to see all that, but I don't know.
Are you going to at least do the dance, even if you don't get the heart piece?
No, I don't.
Oh.
Because I have to take time to equip it, and that's like 2 whole seconds. It's time wasted.
Yeah, I understand.
In any case, I want to get the blast mask too, and the blast mask trigger happens at like around 12:20 or something. And if you're not in there when that happens, then you can't trigger it. But I managed to get here like just in time, so you can see the old lady right there.
Yep.
So that was a few seconds off. Yeah, if you're not in here when this cutscene happens, then it's gone basically. Even though he runs around for a while.
And now you can't complete the Cafe side quest on this cycle.
Yeah, this one's a really significant side quest in that it causes a lot of weird issues.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, this is what happens if you shoot him with arrows.
I was hoping you'd show that.
Yeah, Link just murdered him.
He dies.
Yeah, the bomb mask is pretty significant, and it has affects a lot of other side quests. Well, a lot, but a couple other side quests significantly. So this will let me get the All Knights mask on the 3rd night, and it prevents me from getting the couples mask because it doesn't. Basically, Cafe doesn't show up at Iconic Canyon on the 3rd night if you do this.
Yeah.
So that's the specific trigger it messes with in the couples mask, is that Cafe doesn't show up over there.
And I think the story of that is Cafe isn't able to watch Sakon go to his hideout.
Yeah, exactly. And even if you glitch in there, which you can do, he's not there.
Oh.
So it just specifically, you just cannot do it no matter what.
Yeah, because the glitching in there is really easy, but yeah, I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Yeah, no, you just can't do it.
Oh, yeah, and it also affects this.
Sorry. I did mention before that I put a bottle over my bomb shoe slot, like way back in episode 2, and that's gonna pay off right now. I had 14 bomb shoes when I did that, and right now I'm gonna buy 10 more. And now you'll add the 10 to the 14 I have, and now I have 24.
Oh.
So I essentially preserved those bomb shoes over playing Song of Time.
Oh, wow.
So that's why I did that earlier.
Yeah.
Let me save those bomb shoes.
But, yeah, and you just bought the big bomb bag, which you can only get after getting the blast mask.
Oh, you can get it there cheaper. If you don't do that, if you don't do the blast mask quest, it'll be in the Curiosity Shop on the 3rd night for like 100 rupees.
Oh, yeah, because that's what Sakon is stealing.
Yeah. And by the way, we're done with our chores, so we're gonna go to Stone Tower. Are you ready for me to climb up Stone Tower?
I'm ready for that. Wait. Okay.
So I just put my cursor on Gorn Village, and when I play the Song of Soaring, it takes me right here to Stone Tower. Right, we just climbed it. Hooray.
Okay.
We did it, everyone.
Yeah, I remember that always taking like 10 minutes to climb up, so that's a little faster.
Yeah, it is. It is the most significant thing about the Soaring Anywhere with the Song of Soaring.
Right.
Obviously, you get to skip having to climb this place. And now, what I'm going to do is pressing this switch brings that block close here, and you're supposed to play the elegy, right, to keep all the blocks there. But if I time stop on the switch, the block can't go back. And if I get on the block when that happens and then cancel time stop, the block takes me to the temple.
Right.
So that was an elegy skip. I could also just hover across, I guess, but that's like faster and more interesting.
Yeah, this saves explosives, yeah.
But yeah, that's what I meant when I said time stop, like sort of affects certain triggers. In that case, while I was on the switch, the block is there, and time stopping in that mode makes it so that block can't move back. So.
Right, yeah.
But now we're in Stowe Tower. It's a real fun dungeon to go through. The first trick we'll do right here is if I put a bomb in a certain position, it'll actually blast me through the wall there.
Okay, yeah, I've never seen that. That was pretty crazy.
The angle at which it, like the velocity of you getting damaged, the angle sort of shoves you through the collision of the wall and the block there.
Right.
That seems to be only certain walls. I don't know exactly like what allows that, what certain circumstances like that causes, but that's its most useful like use right there. You could do something similar in Ocarina of Time, but the setup would be slightly different because the bomb explosion is different.
Yeah.
But there's the same strategies like there. You could blast yourself through certain things. That one's significant here because we just sort of got to the other side of the temple.
Yeah.
So that was actually an LG and an emptiness skip right there that I did. I don't have to use that in this temple, which I don't have anyway, so.
And just using a gainer to climb this block.
Yeah, so I don't have to hover up, and I don't have to use light arrows or mirror shield, which I don't have. So easy way to skip those blocks. Yeah, this is the room which is at like after the elegy, or that you would typically use.
Yeah.
So by going backwards to the temple, I didn't have to use it. Not the only way to skip using it too. There's other ways of it. This is me failing trying to be a cool guy. Essentially, you can recoil off a bomb up to the ledge up there. Like you can have a bomb basically explode you up there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But I screwed up. It's not that big of a deal though. Now in this room, I was debating a little while about getting maps and compasses because I kind of didn't want to for a while. But there's a couple of, I guess a couple of tricks I could show off. And right now the map is on the other side of this huge block over there. Normally you do use the mirror shield to just get rid of it pretty easily, but I don't have that. So I have to climb up there, or hover up there basically. And now I have to get out. And in order to do that, I'm gonna use these armos here. Or no, they're not armos. I forgot what they're called.
Yeah, they're armos.
Oh. Well, I just I hookshotted them next to the block in front of me, and that actually shoved me inside the block. So I was able to just pass right through it.
Okay.
Hookshotting things against walls can do that. It'll clip you through the wall. In this case, I did it through the wall of the block here.
Yeah, I've seen people do that with like torches and stuff. I've never seen them do it with an armos. That's pretty. I didn't even think that would work.
Yeah, you could do it off of any enemy you can hookshot. I mean, you could potentially do it.
Right.
You could do it off. There might be one other use that I'll probably talk about like next episode if I remember it. But yeah, you hookshot enemies and clip you through walls that way. But we're done with that section of the dungeon now. I essentially had to go to that room to get another key so I could go back here and continue on. Because I believe you're supposed to... I mean, this is like forward into the dungeon, right? So
yeah.
And here we got a bunch of other sunblocks that I'll have to deal with. You can just hover over them, but I don't want to. Again, it's a waste of explosives, so I'm going to use another trick. I've mentioned that rolling into bombs can cause some weird stuff.
Right.
And I'm going to be taking advantage of that. If you notice his model right there, it's sort of bugged out.
Yeah, it started to go down a little bit.
Yeah, that was me like sort of bailing on the trick. But essentially you're going so fast that it warps your model. And I take advantage of that by pulling out a hookshot during certain frames. And on a certain frame after that, it shoves the hookshot camera out of bounds, and I can use it to hookshot things from in different spots.
Wow.
So it essentially shoves the hookshot camera like way down below the level, and I use that to get up on the other side of this block here. It's a really interesting trick, and obviously it's, if you can imagine how, you can probably imagine how it would be useful to hookshot, just like, it's not entirely through walls, but
right.
Did a kind of recoil there just to get across here quickly, and I'm doing another weird shot. And the thing about these is, especially in the English version, they move you so fast that if I do this wrong, it'll crash the game. Which is why try to be really careful about it.
And a lot of pause buffering and such.
Yeah, like this frame right here, if I'd let the game advance one more frame without changing my controller inputs, it would have crashed the game.
Wow.
So, especially in the English version, it's way more sensitive. In Japanese, you'll have a few more frames to change your inputs to avoid crashing. But in English, it's really, really bad. But if you notice, that weird shot actually pushed me like down and like to the right.
Yeah.
Like, so a lot of interesting stuff you can do.
And is that just based on like certain controller input? Whoa. Like.
Yeah. But essentially, I was hookshotting that chest, and you have like one frame to open it before the fire hurts you.
Yeah, I think you can do that in the Fire Temple in Ocarina of Time as well, for the boss key.
It was easy in Ocarina of Time. It's easier because you can a lot of time you can just roll into it. Yeah.
Right.
In this case, I had to hookshot. But now, this fight will go a little bit slow because I don't have a very strong thing to damage him with. But I have a good strategy for it. Right when I see him start attacking me, if I start a roll, the invincibility frames of that roll will prevent me from getting hurt, and then I could just attack him right after.
Wow. And it looks like you've got a pretty good window there too.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Here I was using the damage from him hitting me to get that same invincibility. So it's just a couple ways to like deal with him quickly. Not nearly the fastest way to deal with him. Obviously, if I had something stronger, but that guy, the Garo ninja, Garo Master or whatever, he's actually really weak to ice arrows because those will hurt him and freeze him.
Oh.
So if I had those would be the best way to fight him. Oh, but yeah, you're asking about the weird shot inputs. Yeah, there's like certain frames where you have to change the inputs. That if you don't do it, just doesn't work. It's like a frame by frame, so one frame will have to be certain input, and the next frame has to be something else.
Okay.
So to just be safe, yeah, I pause buffer to the specific frames I want. You can do it unbuffered. It's just dangerous.
Yeah. Because it's a pretty small window between getting the weird shot and crashing the game.
Yeah. In this case, what I just did, if it's not immediately obvious, that fairy, I think you're supposed to typically flip over Stone Tower, hit a switch, and then flip it back to normal, and then come and get that fairy.
Yeah, I think that's the intended route,
But I just use a bomb to explode the switch through a floor because the blast radius is so large.
Right.
So I didn't have to worry about it. Yeah, I think there's like 2 fairies where you have to, like, supposed to flip it back to normal, but I only ever have to flip it once to get it upside down. So.
Oh, wow, that was a lot easier than I remember it being.
Yeah, when you get close to him, he does like a ground pound. But when he does that, his hitbox, I guess, sort of extends outwards, to hit you. But if you put a bomb there, it'll hit the bomb and trigger it exploding, but he's vulnerable when that happens, so it just hurts him really quickly.
Okay.
You can also just shoot him with arrows, but using the bombs is just faster, and it looks funnier. But oh, yeah, I didn't even mention it, but yeah, now I have light arrows, and essentially light arrows completely obsolete the mirror shield. Because in this game, they work, the light from light arrows and light from the mirror shield are the same thing.
Right.
Essentially. It did not work that way in Ocarina of Time. You couldn't shoot like sun dials or whatever with light arrows and have that work. But in this game, you can do that. So, I'll still be getting the mirror shield later, but it's completely obsolete. I don't need it at all.
Right.
And having light arrows here means no more issues with having to, worry about it at all.
Yeah.
So I essentially came in here with no elegy, no mirror shield, and just to show off that you can do this tempo without those things.
Yeah. So yeah, once you get the light arrows, it's pretty much opens up the entire dungeon.
Yeah. Oh, but I still need to get some fairies, which is why I'm back here. There's a fairy that, I don't know if you would remember, but you have to shoot an ice switch with fire arrows.
Right, I think I remember that one.
Yeah, right. So you have to shoot it and then it spawns a chest. However, I don't have fire arrows. I haven't gone to that temple yet.
Right.
So I have to do an alternate method here. Now, at one point I tried to think about... I showed off that you can shoot arrows that are on fire using a DQ stick, but I need a text box for that, and dungeons actually don't have many text boxes to interrupt things for me to use that. So I have another method. I hover up here to the eye switch, and I just drop some hot springs water on it.
That works?
Yeah,
wow.
And the funny thing is, it doesn't just melt the ice, it makes the ice switch actually get hit.
Okay.
I was actually surprised about that, too. I thought it would just melt the ice.
Yeah,
it actually just activates the switch.
I wouldn't have even expected it to melt the ice, because I know hot springs water doesn't work on the boss of the second dungeon.
Yeah, but that's actually the only thing it doesn't work on.
Wow, that is interesting.
Yeah, I was actually surprised too. I kind of figured that out for this specific run through. But what I just did there is I hovered off with a slight angle so that I could hit that sun dial switch. I don't know, whatever.
Right.
To hit that.
Yeah, because that's another one where you're supposed to flip it, hit the switch, and then flip it again and get the chest as a Zora.
Potentially. No, well, that one's not for a chest as a Zora. But I think, I'm supposed to flip it or have ice arrows to make platforms.
Oh, yeah.
Off to the side and then shoot it, but I don't have that, so I did it that way. And it actually had a little bit of a bonus in that I was over water when that cutscene triggered, so it made me fall through the water.
Yeah, because it took away your ISG.
Yeah. Oh, and I didn't point it out, but when I was doing hovering, I actually changed directions in midair. When I hovered up to that frozen switch.
Right.
And you can do that if you target a bomb shoe when you shield it. Normally, you can't really change direction when you're hovering with bombs. Just it doesn't let you the way the camera's fixed.
Right.
But if you target anything, it's just bomb shoes are you always have with you usually. You can do some controller inputs to actually change direction.
Okay.
So it gives you some mode of control over the direction of your hovering. But this will be the last fairy we get in the regular stone tower, so we're done with normal stone tower.
Right.
But I'll still finish it. Yeah. But we'll have to make a quick detour.
Because you have to flip it, but you don't have Elegy of Emptiness to move the block out of the way.
Yeah, I'll be dealing with that a little bit, but first...
Okay.
No, cause you're right, but because I do have a really cool way of dealing with that. But yeah.
Okay.
So I want to do as much as I can in this cycle. I'll be doing a whole lot in this cycle, and I will be getting the Gilded Sword. But I couldn't really do the dungeon fast enough so that I had time to do it to get the Razor Sword after I finished Stone Tower. So I had to just split up Stone Tower. And I did try, and I tried to think of other routes I guess I could have done, but essentially I just decided to, once I was done with regular Stone Tower, to come here and get the Razor Sword.
Right.
Because right now if you looked at time, it's pretty close to the end of the first day, and even with the fastest things I could do, I couldn't really finish Stone Tower in time to get here before the end of the first day.
Right.
So just a bit of an unfortunate detour. I didn't really but I couldn't fit it in anywhere else. I was debating just giving the sword away when I was back here, or giving my sword away earlier and just doing Stone Tower without a sword. But having a sword is pretty useful, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, in case anyone doesn't know, you can drop off your sword at any time during the first day, and then pick it up at any time during the second day. You don't have to wait any specific amount of time. It's just...
So even though there was like 2 hours left in day 1, they're still finished with it.
Yeah. Like, if you can manage to time it and drop it off, like, at 5:59, and then, like, have the date transition while you're in here, then yeah, they'll still give it to you. It doesn't really...
That's pretty efficient.
Yeah. But now we have it, I need to get back, so... And the Razor Sword, they say it has 100 slashes, right?
Yeah.
But I've actually, like, never seen it degrade.
Yeah, neither have I, but maybe I just haven't used it 100 times. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's hard to tell because I guess it's just 100 slashes is like more than you'd think, I guess.
Yeah.
Because you can use it pretty extensively, and like in a speedrun where they do get like everything 100%, they have depending on the route, they'll have a Razor Sword for a really long time.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I've just never seen it, and I've never had to use the sword enough to see it, I guess. I don't know if that's just because, yeah, 100 is a lot, or if maybe there's actually more than that. Who knows? But yeah, so I generally don't worry about not slashing with it or anything.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna have to flip over Stone Tower. There are a couple of ways to do it, but the same trick that I did with the hook shot, you can do that with arrows too.
Okay. So the weird shot just...
Yeah, essentially what I'll do is roll into the bomb. I get to this frame, pull out my bow, do a couple more frames, then let go Z, and that's what pushes me under. And then you can actually shoot the switch from behind. I miss, but you shoot it from behind. And we got it flipped over. Not the only way to do it. You can actually go out of bounds off the sides. Like, there's like 2 sections off to the sides of the entrance on either side. And if you can manage to get over there, it gets you out of bounds and you can shoot it that way.
Yeah, because there's like a no collision over there for certain parts of the wall or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And one other way to do it is it's a funny way. If you stand on the switch that in front of the red switch or whatever, the red eye, it'll move the block away. And if you like turn around, pull out your bow and then pause buffer all the way over there, and then fall off and then shoot while falling, it'll hit the switch.
Okay.
It's kind of long, so
yeah.
But essentially, the cutscene interruption that I've talked about before, where it takes 2 frames to do a cutscene, that works for those switches too.
Right.
There I had a bomb explode me over here. Again, bombs exploding you off a ledge give you a huge speed boost. And if you position yourself right, you can actually you can do it sideways, which is what let me grab the ledge there. So now we're on the other side of the dungeon again. You're not supposed to go through it this direction.
Right.
And we need to go over here because there's one fairy over here, and I'll have to fight the Wizrobe for it. It's kind of frustrating because it spawns from him dying, so you have to fight him if you want to get all the fairies.
Right.
Like, there's like no way around that.
But from what I remember, he is pretty weak to light arrows, I think.
Well, a light arrow just does more damage.
Yeah.
He's not necessarily weak to them. They just do more damage.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I use. It kills them a little faster. This one, a little slick. I managed to explode him before he could trigger his this cutscene. I didn't get it again. But you can actually stun lock him or like hit him before he triggers his cutscene. And if you can keep doing that, he won't ever use that. He won't ever do that.
Yeah, it's a bit easier in the Snowhead.
Yeah, because he's like near you.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have. I think it's only 1 frame. But yeah, you have 1 frame where you can hit him before he goes into his next phase. Then you can skip it. But yeah, I couldn't do it. I managed to do it once with the bomb. But
yeah.
But all that was just for that fairy right there. But yeah, and also I'd entered his room backwards too. Yeah, you're not supposed to fight him up there.
Yeah.
But that's the only section of this. That's the only thing we need to do over here in this section of the dungeon. There is a way into the boss room. Just for your information, from this room you can get to the boss room. Yeah,
it requires some. Yeah, it's very precise bomb hovers.
Yeah, it requires a lot of bomb hovers, and it requires a lot of hovers. It's really annoying, and I never liked doing it. But luckily, there's been like they found a better way that I'll be showing off later.
Okay. All right, I haven't seen the new way. I remember the old way. Cause it was a bunch of bomb hovers that are like hugging the void. So like if you do it just barely too low or something, you void out.
Yeah. So what I hookshotted that chest and I hovered after I did it, and then I oriented myself so that I get right next to the chest. So I'm right next to it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use an explosion to hit my shield, and it pops me onto the chest.
Oh wow!
And then from here I can open it.
What? Oh my gosh!
And then the funny thing about that is that chest is upside down and it has a fairy in it. And because it's upside down, the fairy is also upside down.
Wow, I've never seen. That's awesome. And does that actually count as the chest in the right side up stone tower?
Yeah, because
oh my god!
Like it doesn't like necessarily distinguish that it's a separate chest or anything.
Yeah,
we're still in the same dungeon. I don't know like precisely how like the programming works out.
Well, it needs to know whether or not it's open or not to show you the other way. I guess.
Yeah, but it doesn't have it as like in a different dungeon or anything like that. So
I've never seen that before.
it's a funny little trick. This would be the chest that I had to shoot that one sunlight switch for. And now we need to get the last fairy, which is a little difficult actually. It's up here behind this chest that's on fire. You might think that you could hookshot it like I did before, and while you might be able to, I'm actually not sure on that. If you fail it, the fire will actually damage you off the ledge.
Huh.
So it wastes a whole bunch of time if that doesn't work. But there is another method for getting it. So I position myself in a certain way and with a certain angle. And then I'm going to have this bomb explode. And when it damages me, it sends me off at a specific angle. And from that, I can actually open up the chest.
Wow.
Essentially, I'm using the bomb invincibility frames.
Yeah, and then just kind of damage boosting into the flame.
Yeah.
Wow.
And with that, we get the last fairy. So that's yeah, all the fairies. I got them. Got the map and compass. We still need the Giant's Mask, and we can get to it from over here by using a recoil flip, where I get hit on my shield or something. Sends you far enough to get to this section of the temple. And I fight him again, the same method.
Man, that gave me so much trouble as a kid. And even now as an adult, wow.
Yeah, well, the trick is just you have to get right up close to him and have him trigger his attack. And if you just keep him doing that, then he's usually not super dangerous.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got the Giant's Mask. Again, only useful for the Twin Mold fight. Obviously, you can't use it anywhere else.
Yeah.
And if you do it, it would actually soft lock the game.
Like if you tried to glitch it to be used outside the fight, yeah.
Essentially, the way it works is that it actually warps you to a different map in Twin Mold.
Okay.
So doing that anywhere else, it just doesn't work. But in any case, I will get into the boss room, but I won't be fighting the boss today, so in this episode, so.
Oh, alright.
But I will be getting in there, and this is how they do it now. Boss door is down there. I position myself with a couple slashes. And then I'm going to actually have the bomb explode me again with another recoil flip. And it actually shoves you through the wall there.
Wow. Alright. That's pretty... That looks a bit easier than the old bomb hovers.
It is. It's a lot easier. And even if you fail, you get back easier too. So failure is not nearly as big of a consequence.
Yeah. And if you fail it, you're out one bomb, whereas the other way, you could be out like a dozen bomb chews.
Exactly. There's even bombs in that room too, so...
Yeah.
But like I said, we're not going to fight Twin Mold right now. I'll get into that like when I do fight him way later. I could kill him right now with just arrows. Like I wouldn't even have to use the Giant's Mask. Like I could use bombs or arrows. But I won't be doing that. So sorry if you wanted to see that.
Wait, you can use bombs on Twin Mold? I didn't know you could use bombs on Twin Mold.
Yeah, you have to be kind of quick, and usually it's just hard to hit them. But
wow.
Yeah. So, but that's Stone Tower. We did everything except the boss, which we'll be seeing way later. Until then, that's the end. Next episode we'll be doing Great Bay, so look forward to that. Bye everyone.
Bye.